Like that, les jardins, till we lured ease in lair to tempt with leaves. Cultivate a favorite habitat, thrive in the wild, coming cow. Slip up, see daisy, black-eyed Susan, plum crazy.
It's funny for me to reach this point in my life where I'm on the other end of the catalog. No one could find pictures of me prior to this point. Bring her some joy in her instrument.
Beautiful voice. Did you ever sing? Did you sing jazz?
No. Oh boy. Improv with me and Sabina Wharton. First time getting together in this space on 4th Street. I was trying to see where she comes from and her and me. I look like H. Rat Brown. Didn't have any words, just her and the bass trying to go with it. That's my typewriter. It's not shown in this film though. You do a typewriter piece.
In thinking about Jake and in preparing these remarks, I spoke with Gwen and with Leslie King Hamilton about the public and private matter. They both gave me remarkable insight, and both conversations led me to Sterling Brown's poem, Strong Man. By any standard, Jacob Lawrence was a strong man, although he was quite subtle. His was strength without histrionics. He was strong enough to have his own style, strong enough to stick with that style and to grow within it. But I also call the poem Strong Men because of the people in his work. In that poem, Sterling Brown wrote, "They point with pride to the roads you built them. They ride in comfort over the rails you laid for them. They put hammers in your hands and said, drive so much before sundown. They cook you in their kitchens. They tend you in their factories. They gave you the jobs they were too good for. The strong men coming on. The strong men getting stronger. Strong men. Stronger." I thought of Jake when I read that because these were the people he painted. He grew up in Harlem, became of age in Harlem. And he was indebted to the people he knew there, the people he saw there. They were his catalyst, his inspiration. He saw people moving about the rituals and the rhythms of the day in that daily effort to make a better life for themselves on such arduous conditions. He went from the ideas that he saw, the kids in the street, people in the library, teachers, workers. He had a fascination with tools, windows, ladders. He used them as metaphors. Painting was the staff of his life. He loved the art of painting. He just sit down and draw and to paint. And because of that, we are all better for his life, his work. He was a man who never forgot where he came from and never forgot who he was. Art critic Michael Kimmelman wrote that he was a historic painter. And for African Americans, he painted our history. He painted barbers, seamsters, shoemakers, and laborers, men who worked in the shipyards. He painted them because that's what we did and that's what we saw. In his neighborhood, the icebox was more common than the refrigerator, so he painted ice vessels. On street corners in Harlem, he would listen to the men on their soapboxes, those social commentators and political activists. So he painted the old. He saw people who migrated north for a better life for themselves and their children. He saw those people struggling to learn to read, so he painted the library. He saw how determined they were to make it better for the next generation, so he painted mothers and fathers work hard to give their children. He never had any trouble finding subjects. There were thousands of stories that we saw around the world every day. And he told those stories as a painter. His was a visual literacy. He was very deliberate about the elements that he selected to go into the painting. They depicted the struggle, freedom, parents. There was a yearning of the people around him for a better life. That's a very human condition. Look at his paintings and you can see the humanity of the subjects, and you can also see the great humanness that was Jacob Lawrence. Today, sociologists talk so much about the modern family striving to get ahead, both parents working to build a better life. Well, in 1943, he painted the mother and father of the work. In World War II, by coincidence, he served on the first integrated ship in the Coast Guard. He painted a series of pieces about the war, victories, Purple Heart, and reported missions. They showed soldiers, including the black soldiers, because we were there, mostly in segregated units, but we weren't there. After the war, men who had fought for their country came home demanding more from their country than second-class citizenship. America started to change. Jackie Robinson integrated Major League Baseball. American society would never again be the same. In 1949, Jake painted The Long Stretch. In it, you could see the tall figure of a black baseball player. It was charged with energy and excitement, a drive to reach first base safely. It said so much about where we were in society then. All we wanted was a chance to play, a chance at bat. We said, I too have an American dream. Just give me a chance. But times were hard. Most people were still struggling to throw off the guilt of oppression and the shackles of slavery. You saw it in the painting that he called most of the people were very poor. Rent is high. Food is high. He showed their perseverance, their persistence, their hard work, and their tenacity. It was all there in his work. He painted the businessmen because in our communities they were always there. He also painted the doctors because we did that too. In 1940, Jake wrote, I have always been interested in history, but they never taught Negro history in the public schools. Well, more than a generation later, I was a freshman at a small state college in Pennsylvania. I had a professor who took me aside one day and said, "Son, go to the library. Read your history. You won't find it in these textbooks that the state gives." That absence of our history was motivation for Jacob Lawrence. You could find our history in his work. And not just what you saw in the painting. Jacob wrote the text for his work. He wrote the text for the history that he told. Read the captives to the migration series, or to the series on John Brown, Frederick Douglass, or Susan Williams. He was meticulous in providing the words that helped to tell the story. The history was there because Jake was a historian. He had a great admiration for the history of our people. He was motivated, inspired, and transformed by their story. He said he had such great admiration for his people when he used the standard that was set by Frederick Douglass. Judge me not by the heights to which I have risen, but by the depths to which I have come. Jacob Lawrence knew the strength of good to merely survive. He admired the tenacity and perseverance of his people. In strong men showing ground over the strong men coming on, the strong men getting stronger, strong men, stronger. Jacob Lawrence painted the history of strong men and women. It was a story he knew well. Jacob Lawrence was a strong man.
What track?
You got ID?
What track dragged you out, man?
You got ID?
What track?
You got
dragged
ID?
you out?
You old enough to be drinking that? There's alcohol in that, you know.
Oh, it is? I thought it was water.
No, that ain't that.
Coca-Cola.
That ain't grape juice.
No? Shit, I better throw it away.
Put that back.
Yeah, I gotta buy one.
If you want a piece of lip device, that would mean that you covered a really wide candy.
Bill Caldwell used to call him Mr. Punk Rock.
Yeah. Yeah, he really has an interesting...
Where did Bill Caldwell disappear? What the Vermont or something? But what does Charles do with the clothes? I mean, people...
You know, he doesn't get it out there. He doesn't get it out there.
He doesn't...
He makes it, and then he gets shy with it, and it's so difficult. Because the art world aren't into that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to take it to the fashion world.
Yeah, he needs...
So he needs people in between, and it's too far out for most people. It's just hard to PR it. You know, we've never had a PR agency. Not a gallery.
No, I know what you mean.
An agency that just PR.
Yeah. Which is what you have to do. Which is what you have to do sometimes.
Because without that engine, you can't get out there.
Yeah.
You artists can't get it out there.
Yeah, you know, Britain had an agent, you know,
Sure.
Jim Kelly.
Sure.
And I asked her one time, I said, you know, Vietnamese, to me at that time, I said, he's all over the place. Why does he need an agent? She said, you'd be surprised. Outside of New York, nobody knows who he is. She said for him to get into Ebony Magazine or get on the TV station in Ohio, she said, I got to be there.
Sure.
I remember, like 20 years ago, a girl wanted to be my agent. And at the time I said, nah, she told me she wanted to take 10% of my, well, I ain't selling anything, but I'm talking about, no, I ain't giving her 10% of my earnings. But my old lady used to say to me all the time, you should have took it up on it. Because the galleries only do but so much.
Exactly, exactly. Then it's nice to have an agent between you and the gallery. Because usually the gallery wants to be the agent. They're too close to the artist. There's no one between.
Plus they handle 20 other people.
Exactly. Yeah, that one agent.
But now that we're all big time and everything, we don't need them anymore, right?
It's not true. Because they won't talk to, well, what they did, they won't talk to no one but another person who is like them. They won't talk to an artist out of some kind of respect or they don't want to be that direct either with an artist. A lot of them don't. But it's very economic to them. It's amazing what happens. No matter who you are, if you don't, there's this, they have a path. Very conservative path. But they don't want too much invention outside of their formula. Then when it gets fun, and you get outside of, excuse me, about their formula. That shit ain't.
Yeah.
That formula. It's old. Even if it works, it's an old formula. There's no adventure in that. The museums could be doing a lot of things outside of their museum. It's incredible.
Gets to be very boring.
Very boring. New York is very boring.
There's a guy like Juan Michel, when he sells it at the auction, $3 million for paint. I mean, how many guys painted like him in the 60s? How many guys in the 60s doing the same thing?
But it's not the painting at all.
No, I know, but I'm saying.
This market gets because it's in the position. He's in the marketplace with those other guys, so it doesn't matter what the object is. Once you get in that, and plus these 3 or 4 guys got together and put their money to shoot the shit up. You see, the art, they can get together and put their money together, all a little bit of each gallery, and create these kind of markets.
Well, that's what Castillo.
There's nothing to do with content. Nothing to do with content.
Oh, no. Nothing at all, no. That's what they did in the 80s.
But this is where the artist gets lost, though. The artists are too romantically into content. If you get your shit marketed that is the content in some situations. To get your objects in that circle can be the content. To hell with what the object is. Because this art world is such a mythical. There's no, it can have no content. In order for it to get there, it's got to have attention. It's got to draw someone's attention, right? It just can't float in there on its own.
Welcome, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I was born in Africa and raised in Africa. I came to the United States in 1994. I went to school, and then in 2001 I started selling African art in the street in New York City, in Soho. That's where I met this guy who came to me and told me that he wanted me to be a model. And I said that I don't want to be a model, man, unless I become a supermodel. And they said, I'm scared. He should, but I couldn't relax. He said, relax. I couldn't relax. Because like this sense, you're looking at me, looking like images of sense. My protective figures, man, because I have these two statues that was given by this old man from Mali, and I feel like the statues were going to let me relax. So I went home, and 2 hours later I came back with these two statues, this one and this one. This one. I feel like I was protected, and I relaxed it, and then he could shoot.
I'm trying.
Then he could shoot.
She's fine. Yes. Yeah, she goes in the morning early.
Maybe 2 hours. And
I
then this is what
can't.
came out.
I tried.
This is what came out. This is the photo right here. This was in 2011.
Yeah.
And the same
See.
it was May 2011. Spring 2011. Yeah, this is the photo now.
Going
going and going. And what camera does is, if you will, it slices time. It gives you a slice, and which is a blessing, and it's also a curse, because sometimes it is difficult to differentiate when a slice is a slice or when it's more than a slice. And this is where one's taste, where one's belief, where one's feelings and knowledge come into play. What makes this slice different from the next slice that you're going to press the shadow? What makes the difference? And that's where your mind and your intellect comes into play, and your feelings. So that there is this sense of time that's involved with photography that is very important to respect and understand. That when you take a slice, it is not necessarily the thing. There's always a slice of, and not even of the thing itself. It is a representation of. We think of a photograph, and we look at a photograph of an apple, and we say, there's an apple. That's not an apple. It's a representation of an apple. And there's a big difference between 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions, and aroma, and texture. So that, again, what we're talking about is a representation of life and a representation of time. But what we try to do is to make those representations and those slices of time, we try to give them significance by our emphasis in certain aspects or certain moments that we decide is important. And when you come down to it, I think what really is important is how you're feeling about that subject. What's going on in your mind about this? Because there are times when I'm working and everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. You turn around, it's beautiful. You turn around, it's beautiful. You turn around, she's beautiful. The cat's beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Why is that? Nothing has changed. This has been going on for years. Suddenly one day things are beautiful. Well, those are the open moments when you are open to experience, when you're open and things are beautiful. And somebody else will come along and say, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? What's beautiful about that? No? But you can't listen to that. You have to listen to yourself. And I must say those days are rare. Of course, what happens is that you do it in increments. You're walking down the street, you're busy, you're thinking, and then suddenly something will jar you, and you see it, and you say, that's beautiful. And then you close down again, and maybe you won't see that suddenly again for another day or another 2 weeks. But the point is that one has to allow oneself to feel and not be afraid of one's feelings. And one has to cherish and love one's feelings, because that's where the creativity comes from. It comes from your feelings, your individual, unique personality. And believe me, you are. We all are. It's no big thing. There are 4 billion people in the world, and there are 4 billion different kinds of fingerprints. And so there are 4 billion different kinds of attitudes. And it's your unique individual self where the creation comes in. It's all been done. We understand that. But it has not been done unless it's been done by you. Unless you do it. Then it's yours, and then it's original. And that's, to me, the meaning of originality. Another issue that I wanted to talk about was
We get this guy here. We get this guy here.
What's up, man?
Okay. Interview him.
How you doing? Let me give you something to drink, man. Hello to some people, man. What's up, man? Pretty good. How's it going?
What brings you here, man?
What, for work? To work. What we doing here? The workplace is here. She's one of us. He's one of us. No, but he's a photographer. Oh, that's nice.
Ask him a question, hon.
Oh, what's up? You know this guy?
No.
How you doing, man? What's up, man? Congratulations, man.
You missed it. You gotta get a little bit sharper. Hold on. Okay, we get this one in here now. We get this one in here. Yeah. This is
My
her.
friend. That too. All of that. She lives right around the corner.
Okay, introduce yourself.
She grew up in Cooper Square.
Introduce yourself.
She did. Ask her what she doing.
Oh, Cooper Square, right near Alex. Yeah. Why? Where did you grow up?
Was this a popular sports event?
Boxing? Yeah.
Yeah? Wow.
More then than now, I think.
So there were a lot of photography assignments relating to boxing?
No, I just did something for small. If I did something for a small magazine, it was a matter of shooting pretty girls, and then I'd shoot some boxing, and I'd shoot something else that was interesting for them. No, I just happened to have done a few boxing things.
Right.
You know, where I'm underneath there, and the guy's getting hit, and then they, you know, and then I'm behind the second, and the guy's spitting blood on me and all that.
Yeah. So your other ability, I mean, do you have any motion pictures that you went further with after you
No, I
started?
just shot television commercials. I worked with Richard Leacock at the beginning. He was shooting documentaries, and I worked with him a little bit, and that's how I got interested in it. But then gradually I just did mostly television commercials as a cameraman.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And this was in the 50s?
Yes, it was in the 50s, 60s, 70s. I haven't done much motion picture in the 90s simply because the business wasn't there for me at the time.
Right.
And I did mostly print.
Your studies or your interest in motion pictures had a strong influence on how you view photography?
Well, you know, as a photojournalist, you're interested in people, what happened, and you want your work to, you want your pictures to have a meaning and maybe affect somebody. And I started out that way with documentary, but then of course I had to do whatever I can do, so I made the camera doing television commercials. But I kept that idea up, you know, that if you shoot a picture, it should have a meaning and people should be able to get something from it. And then, you know, you get the pressure of having to pay the rent, so you start shooting more and more commercial work.
Right.
So I get a studio. Of course, the place I had downtown where I lived in, it was a studio because it had a skylight in a large room.
Right.
But then gradually I had to get a studio that was midtown, or at least that was as far as 23rd, 42nd Street, my first studios, because you know, we wanted commercial advertising clients to be able to get. Yeah. Now you can have studios all over in Manhattan. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you very much. And you gave me more than I asked for. But I feel good every time I try to make one. I always hurt myself. But I'm just hanging out, enjoying. And I thank God to be alive. And I thank God for somebody catching up with me. And He blessed me. I want to say this. He blessed me with a good blessing because I'm Rollo. And I don't know your name. But I'm Rollo, the phony boy. Oh, there he is. That's my brother. Yeah. No, no, I passed her coming up. But
Which way was she going?
Well, she was heading that way. But she might be back.
How long ago was that?
About a half an hour ago.
Oh, that's when we first came out.
Yeah, but I feel good now. I feel so good. No, I don't know. You know, I'm going to take some pictures. I feel so good. I feel so good to where I don't know how to act. It's a shame to feel good. But to be nice and feeling good off the grace of glory. Because I've got joy belong to me. I've got joy when my Savior came and put His arms all around. I've had joy, joy, joy. But all this joy belongs to me. I thank the Lord to set me free. I'm talking about, they don't believe it, but I'm back. Yeah, He back. I feel like moving and grooving. I feel like a sex machine. If I had Maceo with me, I'd count it off. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Get up. Oh, I gotta have a feeling. Surely born. I get it together. Say right on, right on. Right on, right on. I get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. I get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Wait a minute. I get up, when I get up. I get up, get on up. I get up, I get up. Stay on my scene. I like a loving machine. But wait a minute. You know, shake your arm, move your bum. Stay on the scene. Hold it, let me get a picture of that. Hold that smile. Hold it. Oh, daddy. Ooh, daddy. Romeo and Juliet. Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, God. Let me get one. Daddy is hold it. And I feel too. Feel good. Oh, yeah, I'm taking. Oh, so good. Hey, give me a picture from your heart so the cameraman can realize. It takes 3 steps to the field. I feel good. When it's still on wood. Just give me a penny. And God bless. One penny. I want to buy a penny. I can't stand myself, man. God bless you. So good. I'm out of here now. Come on back. Oh, that's Angelo's son. And I feel good. And hold on, I gotta get you. There he is. God bless you. And don't forget, hey, what's up, big man? The old clock on the wall says time for JB to haul. I'm gonna take 3 steps to the rear. Get the hell out of here. I feel good. God bless you.
Okay.
Remember, my name is Rollo.
Okay,
Automatic is the name of my camera. I'm a phony photographer. It don't work because it was made in the USA. Yeah, rockin' daddy in the USA. Yeah. Made. Oh my God, it's Miss Charlie and her angel. Oh my God, hold on, let me get a picture of that. Oh shit. Hold on, let me take one. Hold on. Oh, she got a hold on.